All right, you guys, so today we're going to be talking about your next project, or the first project really, for this class. I have an example right here that I just made up really quick of kind of what I want it to look like. So there are four main things that you're really going to need to have this whole project complete, okay? The first thing is you're going to make a box for each element of art, just like in that video y'all saw me do a few days ago, or actually it was yesterday, my apologies. The video you watched yesterday about the elements of art, you can refer back to that while doing all of this, but make a box for each element. So draw a box on your piece of paper, label each box. So right here I have line, shape, value, texture, space, color, and form. You don't have to put your boxes like I did. You can turn your paper the other way if you want to turn it the other way. You can have them in a straight line. You can do them a little bit smaller than I did, but don't do them too small. Don't do them like super bitty like this small or anything like that. All right, so you're gonna make a box, label them, and then in each box, you're gonna draw a picture that's gonna represent that specific element of art, okay? So line, you're gonna draw a picture with lines, shape, you're gonna draw a picture with shapes, etc., etc. And then down next to where you drew your word under the box, you're gonna write the definition. And again, y'all, you can reference back to that PowerPoint, or the PowerPoint I had the video for yesterday. You can look back on those definitions and use those, all right? But those are the main directions, all right? So a box for each element, label it, definition, and picture, all right? All right, we're gonna talk about materials next. So it doesn't really matter if you don't have colored pencils for this project. I tried to do this one without colored pencils so you could see. If you don't have markers, that's okay. You can literally do this project. Sorry if y'all can hear the bell. I'm up at school making this video. But it doesn't really matter if you don't have colored pencils or markers. Just do the best, y'all, with what you have. So if you do have colored pencils, feel free to color the whole thing. If you don't, then you don't have to color the whole thing. If you don't have colored pencils, though, please leave a comment when you submit this assignment. That way I know that you don't have any. But all you need really is a pencil, a piece of paper. If you don't have regular white paper, I'm fine with you using lined paper, like school paper. I'm okay with that. I was going to show you an example of a white eraser. So I had some people asking for an example. Here's an example of one. It doesn't have to look exactly like that one. I have this one. Here's another example. Okay, and that's just really good. Even on here, when I was drawing this out, I made a couple mistakes and I went in with my eraser, and it's just a lot faster, y'all, than using like the end of your pencil like that, okay? It'll keep it from wearing down too fast, okay? So use whatever materials you have. If you don't have markers and you have colored pencils, use that. If you don't have colored pencils but you have markers, use that. If you just have pencils, use those. It is up to you, all right? I really am just looking for all of the elements on here. So just use what you have. So I'm gonna go briefly through each element. That way you kind of have an idea of what you're supposed to do. So for line, I just drew a picture with a bunch of different types of line. I have some zigzag lines, I have some straight lines, I have some curved lines up here. Shape, I just drew different types of shapes. No shading or anything, just flat shapes. Value, remember value is when you go from light to dark. Shading, another word for value is shading. So if you look right here, I made it kind of like a pencil and it's drawing a shaded line. It goes from dark to light. And then I also shaded the corners of that picture. For space, space indicates areas around, below, above, between, within something, all those words. So I drew a donut because there's space around the donut as well as in the middle of the donut. There's negative space in the middle because there's a hole cut out. So space, some people get a little, that's the main one people struggle with on this project. Try to think about things with space in them, chairs with cutouts, try to come up with a different idea than I came up with. But remember, space can also be something like someone could be really close up to the frame, someone could be really close up here, and then way back in the distance could be like a teeny tiny person. And that would be space as well, because there's space in between those two people. And look up examples online, y'all. If you're not sure, Google some ideas. I'm fine with that. Form is an element that is or appears to be 3D. So I made a 3-dimensional shape. I made like a cone. All right. Texture down here, I just made like a fuzzy looking alien. Texture is a surface quality or feel of an object. So I just made him look kind of fuzzy. And for color, I just drew an umbrella and colored in all the different colors of the umbrella, okay? So that's a brief overview of this whole setup. Try to do different things than I did, because I want to see what you can come up with. But this should be a good example for you to kind of go off of. I am going to attach a video today as well on how to scan a photo using notes on your iPhone and upload it into Schoology. It's only like a 2 or 3 minute long video. It's not very long. If that method doesn't work for you, there are other ways to get your picture uploaded into Schoology. I just didn't have a tutorial for different types of phones. I really only had one for the iPhone. But if you're still struggling getting it up into Schoology, please send me an email or come to that daily office hour I have, and we'll figure it out. Which actually is what I wanted to talk to you about next. But before we do that, this project right here is going to be due on Friday. So I'll write that back here in big words. All right, so due Friday. All right. So you have until then to work on your elements of art labeling sheet, okay? That is when this is due. All right, so next order of business, I've made a little diagram here. There seems to be some confusion about my class setup right now, specifically the videos we're gonna have. And I just kind of want to address this today to save you guys some time and to save me some time. So there are 2 different types of live videos we're going to have for art, okay? The first one is my daily office hour, and that's 9 to 10. All right? So 9 to 10 is my daily office hour. If you have a specific question for me, like you need something specified that won't take very long to ask me, you just ask it real quick, or we can go over something, or maybe you're having trouble logging in, or you can't view a video, or you want to ask me about the materials you're going to be using for your project, or if you're not sure if the picture you drew for one of your elements is correct, this would be a great time for you to come ask me, all right? 9 to 10 o'clock. My email will shoot me an email as soon as you click on the link. It sends me an email and says so-and-so is waiting in the lobby. If I take a few minutes to get to you, I'm sorry. I try to get to everybody as fast as I can. I might be talking to somebody else in another chat room at the time. But that's for specific questions for me. I'm not going to lecture or anything during this time. There's not going to be any new information I'm going to give you during this time. It's completely optional. Okay, and that's really the part everyone I think is kind of getting confused with. I'm having a lot of students coming to my daily office hour and I think kind of expecting for me to give out the new assignment and things like that, and I'm not doing any of that during this time, okay? That's just for specific questions from parents and students. If you have something very specific you want to ask me that you're just confused about, okay? So that's my daily office hour. Live WebEx chats, okay? Live WebEx chats are going to happen 2 times a week. They are on the class schedule. Most of the time I have them highlighted in yellow, or I'm going to try to highlight them in yellow, but they're 2 times a week. And that is when I'm going to lecture, give out new information. We'll have class discussions, and new material and new information is going to come out during that time. That's my actual teaching time, okay? It's okay if you can't make it to these, but it's highly recommended that you do, okay? So I would really try to make it to as many live WebEx chats as you can. But I just wanted to take a moment to clear that up. This is the time where I'm going to teach live WebEx chats that happen 2 times a week. I'm actually going to teach, learn new stuff, We're going to look at one another's projects, maybe critique some projects, things like that. Daily office hour is if you have a specific question for Ms. Smith that you have not gotten clarification on. Okay, so remember, this project is due Friday, okay? Upload your picture. If you have trouble uploading your picture, let me know. You can either come to my daily office hour, or you can just send me a message in Schoology or an email. That's just as fast. It is up to you, really. But please let me know if you have any questions. My email is on the website as well. I hope you have fun with this. Get out your creativity, and I look forward to seeing what you guys create, okay?